Thank you for joining us in Every Africa this morning. I'm Charity Chikene. This is the On Trend segment where we analyze stories making way across the social media platforms. Now, let's begin with stories making way across the globe. First of all, we begin with the story of Ukraine. Now, Ukraine has had violent protests over yesterday and early today, and we're having a bloodbath that is worse than ever before. Even after the post-Soviet era, they are struggling to find the government to hear their side of the story. Now, protesters want the government to accept the European deal, the European Union deal, to be backed by the European Union and avoid going into a coalition with Russia, who they believe is still somewhat lingering in their minds because of the Soviet era. Now, a lot of people have been wounded. We have figures of about 70 people being killed yesterday on that just one protest. We're having a lot of buildings across the whole of Kyiv, that is the capital of Ukraine, just coming out and becoming makeshift camps where hospital supplies are being supplied to the injured. People who have basic first aid skills are being called upon to help because there's a huge influx of people coming in with wounds. So a lot of people are coming together just to give you the spirit of humanity, coming together in one accord to ensure that they help their fellow brothers and sisters. Another story coming in, still making way not only in Africa, the East African region, but the globe over, is the story of Uganda. Now, President Yoweri Museveni is going to sign the bill for the anti-homosexuality bill, banning the gayism in his country. So he's faced a lot of criticism. A lot of human rights activists are coming out in numbers saying this should not take place. We have the agency that deals with HIV and AIDS prevalence around the world, that is the UNAIDS, just coming out and saying that if indeed this particular bill is passed, then HIV rates in Uganda will also increase. We're also having people calling out on John Kerry. Now, John Kerry is the Secretary of State in America. Now, his major function is to be the chief foreign advisor to the president. Now, he has the mandate to carry out what the president's mandate for foreign affairs are. He is the man in charge. So we're having activists coming out in large numbers asking John Kerry to please recall the ambassadors of America in the countries of Uganda and Nigeria, because people are are appalled by this particular bill being passed in Uganda, which they say is a violation of human rights and the right basically for someone to uphold what they believe is true, not only to themselves but also to what they showcase to the public. Now, another story making way is in Kenya. Now, a local publication gave out the list of 25 names of Kenya's top richest. Now, just to give you a brief information, Kenya's top richest man, beg your pardon right there, he earns about 80,000 Kenyan shillings a minute. So if you're on that range, good for you. If you're not, you can look into the internet and find out how you can make your money better. So let's begin with the Kyiv story in Ukraine. Let me just take you through a look at the tweets here. We have Alex Cortez saying that mind blown by the violence going on in the Ukraine, even though I shouldn't be surprised. Really brings me to sadness to see that particular story. Well, when I was actually taking a look at this particular tweet, I was thinking indeed, everyone has the right to choose political leaders who not only uphold what they believe is true, but also to stand up for the large masses. So basically, the political powers in Ukraine are not listening to what the people have to say. Now, last November, they had the opportunity to go ahead with a European-backed plan to join the European Union that would have increased the labor power for Ukraine, having to free movement of trade in and around the European zone. So a lot of works and a lot of jobs would have been provided for the Ukraine people, but the president, that is Mr. Yukovich, refused to join this particular treaty, but rather he went and signed on one with Russia, who is a former colonial power. So a lot of people are angered by this. What began as a humble protest by students, that is university students, turned out to be a protest that the whole nation took part in to ensure to bring out that feel that this is not only what the youth are feeling, even the old, even the young are feeling this particular story as well. They want change in Ukraine. So we have here Sayed saying that today was the bloodiest day in Ukraine modern history, with more than 70 protesters killed. Heart is with the victims from Pakistan. Now, this particular writer is writing all the way from Pakistan, sending out his heart to the people of Kyiv, just telling them that indeed they are going to go on in solidarity with them. And then we have here, what's fascinating, that is Pearson saying, what's fascinating is that these revolutions, be it in Egypt, Ukraine, Venezuela, Russia, the US and UK, elevate freedom above all else. So just to bring you the Arab Revolution that took place in Egypt, till today, there's a lot of conflict still happening in Egypt. People are looking for their rights to be given to them. People are indeed, after the end of the day, people are free with the right of mind to speak what they want, regardless of whatever is facing them. For example, yesterday, with the protesters being given a warning by the police, they still took charge in Kyiv and they went forward because this is something they believe in and they believe is true. We have here Elijah Horton just giving a comparison. If this particular situation happened in the US, he says what's happening in the Ukraine and the Venezuela right now will not have happened in America, land of the free and home of the sacred. So waiting just to see, he's trying to bring out that idea that America, it has the capacity to listen to the people, but we're waiting to see that. But also America has a rich history of also its own revolutions, its own revolts, and also they have won major fights and major battles against its government. We have the 1967 march into the Washington, D.C. area by Martin Luther King, just to fight for civil rights and also the right to have different interracial marriages occur in the United States, something that was outlawed in writing in the Constitution. So just to give you the preview that indeed, as much as the Americas has come to a democratic state, they've also undergone their fair share of history that has been bloody, sometimes been violent as well. But also just to give you that particular feel of exactly what is happening. So read through this whole particular wall, get a feel of exactly what is happening. A lot of people are putting timely updates about what is happening here. We have here Jay Mackenzie saying, praying for Ukraine, my heart is with the people fighting for their country, their freedom and themselves. Just to give you that that humanity that is not only in Kyiv but also around the globe. People are in unison and they're shouting out to Ukraine to just tell them that indeed we support you and we feel you. Now we had just a few hours ago the Secretary of State John Kerry issued out a press release from the President of America, who said that indeed they are outraged by the images of Ukraine security forces firing automatic weapons on their own people. Now, such a sad affair, but we're waiting to see how this particular story develops. But the figures are that indeed 70 people have been killed. Just here, a tweet coming in. We have Venezuela is bad, but right now focus is on Ukraine. BBC News is carrying out this particular headline that the EU, that is the European Union, imposes Ukraine sanctions after deadly Kyiv clashes. Just to give you a preview of exactly what measures each government is taking to ensure that indeed Ukraine gets a speedy solution to this particular protest happening in their country, because indeed if blood is shed, then at the end of the day, a lot of people, innocent people, if I may put it that way, are going to lose their lives. So a lot of harrowing images, which are bloody, I cannot show you in this particular wall because of editorial policies. But still, take a look in the internet if you have the heart for it. Take a look. A lot of images coming in are so devastating. Just to give you that, a lot of insight of exactly what is happening. So, but our heart goes out to the people of Kyiv, hoping that indeed they find their day to preach what they have been fighting for. We move on to matters Uganda now. Now, in Uganda, President Yoweri Museveni said that he's going to pass this particular anti-gay bill, but this particular bill is pending Mr. Mugabe getting a signed proposal from the 11 scientists he commissioned to take a look whether or not being gay is part of your biological makeup. If not, if it's a man-made act, then indeed it needs to be squashed at the level it is now, which is a grassroots level, before it gets opportunity to actually come out and people people to be friendly and accept this particular idea. We have harrowing images which have been going through the internet, on Facebook and on Twitter as well, showing gay people being burnt alive and to death in Uganda, and in front of children, in front of women, just to deter people from picking up this particular behavior, something that is not trickling down with a lot of people. The UN body, the UN organ, from its Secretary General, that is Ban Ki-moon, all the way to the agency that deals with HIV and AIDS, that is the UN AIDS department, just coming out and strongly and saying that indeed this is a violation of human rights, and also keeping, if this particular bill is going to be passed, then at the end of the day, we're going to have people scared to even come out of the closet. And at the end of the day, the prevalence of HIV and AIDS will also increase, because people will be scared to indeed give out their sexual history, if indeed they're going to be going to a hospital to give out a detailed history about their disease, so they won't be able to say that yes, they had a gay partner and that is why they contract this particular HIV status. So a lot of issues need to be solved first. But one thing that is coming out, and particularly something that has passed my mind, is this particular campaign page, which is all out equality everywhere. They're standing up with the lesbian community and the gay community in Uganda, championing people to take a pledge to sign this particular campaign. Now, what they want to reach is a 75,000 mark. Right now, they are 57,630 mark, but they're waiting to go through. That is 75 there. So that is roughly about 20,000, roughly about 21,000, the figures right there. So basically, people are looking for support. People are in solidarity with the with the gay community in Uganda. They are feeling for them. And one particular thing that they are calling upon, not only the government and the people of Uganda, but also they're calling on foreign governments to come up publicly against the law and recall its ambassadors. We have another particular campaign page, which campaigners, activists, that is socialist activists in Uganda, have come up with a campaign. And what they have said is John Kerry, that is the Secretary of State of America, whose this particular issue revolves around. Now, he is the foreign advisor for President Barack Obama, so he has the right to advise him on foreign affairs and carry out what Mr. Obama believes is politically correct in the foreign docket. So we're waiting to see if indeed he will recall U.S. ambassadors, not only in Uganda but also Nigeria, who passed a law that really bans gayism in their country, what they call a man-made act and not what is of God. They're also calling on corporations working in Uganda to speak out about the law. And also, thirdly, they're talking about religious institutions to issue statements encouraging the respect of human rights. So waiting to see how particularly these three organs in Uganda participate in this particular bill. I'll be monitoring it for you and to give you timely updates on exactly what takes place. But also take a look at our Facebook page, also our Twitter page, for more information on this particular topic. But just to read just but a few of the tweets making its way across this particular Uganda hashtag. And basically, this whole hashtag here is not really on the gay perspective alone. It's a whole concept about what Uganda is. We have here Brooke Willis saying, "Is this enough?" Statement by President and Homosexuality bill in Uganda, speaking about what Mr. Barack Obama, the president of the US, gave a statement on Sunday telling President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni not to sign this particular bill because it's going to take Uganda back to the era where they did not appreciate human rights, and they have made strides in their democratic country to ensure that indeed they become a full democratic state that appreciates what life has to offer, and also appreciation of the human rights angle and perspective. So is this enough? That is a question that needs to be asked. Is enough governments just saying that they do not support this particular bill? What more should be done? Are we going to see sanctions coming soon? We're waiting to see that. I will monitor that situation for you and give you timely updates as it happens. But basically, take a look at this. People are giving out giving out information. We had one Uganda gay activist being jailed in that is South Africa, but we have here News World South Africa says that hashtag South Africa frees Uganda gay activist from detention. He had been detained in Uganda. For more information, click this particular link and you'll get to see more information on exactly what is taking place in Uganda in regards to that particular story, and also South Africa. But also there's that petition which is running around along through this particular wall tag. If you want to be part of the campaign, you can go right ahead and check out All Out and just give your feel to this particular story. If you support it or not, at the end of the day, a result will have to come to pass. So they have 24 hours to ensure that this particular bill does not come to law. We will monitor that situation for you and give you timely update on exactly what will come out of this. And this particular story has been carried out on an international media, that is Al Jazeera. They're having it in their headlines here. US urged to recall Uganda envoy over gay bill. Now, rights groups say ambassador should be withdrawn from Ugandan president after Ugandan president says he will sign the anti-gay law. So we have here people just carrying out the posters that some Ugandans are gay, get over it. So we're waiting to see how this particular topic will go out. But human rights activists are not taking this lightly, and also social activists are not taking this particular story rightly. But also we have here in Kenya, the same is still applying. We're waiting to see if the Kenyan government will put a foot down and give a statement over this particular issue. We had MPs the other day coming out, that is Kenyan MPs, come out and just say that indeed they will not support this particular law. So that is it. And just something interesting just to show you just a preview of exactly what has been happening in Kenya. A local newspaper here in Kenya published 25 top earners in Kenya. And one person was Vimal Shah, who earns 80,000 Kenyan shillings every minute. So he's worth roughly about 1.67 billion US dollars, Kenya's first US billionaire. So if you want to take a look at his story, take a look at this. Take a look at this particular wall to get more information on this particular person. But check out our Facebook page. And also check out my page as well. I'll give you timely updates on exactly what is happening, not only in Kenya, but Africa and the globe over. This was the On Trend segment. Join me later for the business. But bye-bye for now.